Coach, can you kind of explain what happened with Amir and kind of how he got hurt and kind of just how you found out that he was hurt?
I think in the first half, he came to early in the second half, he came into one of the huddles and he was finicking with his leg, and I'm not sure he knows. What would have happened is overnight there was swelling, and then as it was examined, it was the fact it wasn't being able to straighten it. Usually that's a meniscus, and the MRI confirmed that. So we'll just get the swelling out and kind of go from there and proceed with surgery whenever. There's a couple options with surgery. One's a little longer recovery than the other one.
What's Tom's status?
Tom is, I would say, doubtful. I'd say he's out for the first game and doubtful thereafter. But in rehabbing today, I was on the court yesterday some, so we just got to get him on the court. But I'm not going to put Tom in a bad position and ask him to go out there at 65 or 70% or less, which is he's probably less. So we'll just see. Hopefully, if there were postseason next week, he'd be ready.
Do you know what your starting lineup's going to look like with?
Yeah, I think it'll be Thor and then Johnny and Brady coming off and Justin coming off the bench. And then I don't know.
That's it.
I didn't see Scotty Frost running over here with some help, so he's no good to us.
It's that waiver for you, Bell, never went through.
No, nope.
Does it kind of feel like, I don't know, or something? I mean,
no, yeah, I just go back to, I remember at North Dakota State when we had to fill it out when we were going through the transition. We redshirted a whole bunch of guys. We had to go through the same thing, and it's just the biggest thing is you want the guys that are able to play just to know that, listen, I'm going to probably ask you to do things that you're unprepared to do, and that's okay. I'm going to ask you to do them, and I hope you do them well. I may even require you to do them well, and you're going to do it. It's going to be a blast doing it. So you just got to roll with it, really.
With a guy like Johnny, when you're in a situation where there's no other option and you have to play, does that take some of the pressure off a little bit?
Yeah,
of just kind of worrying
that's a good
about
question to ask them. But it's always, I think, when you're, when you know that, hey, this is what it is. That that you're able to play, and you should play that way anyway, because nobody's really threatening anybody to say, if you don't make that shot, you're coming out, because that's not the way it works. But at the same time, I think there is some freedom to that, and there is a little bit of let's just let our hair down and let it roll.
Looking back over the film, what did you see in how he was able to make a positive impact, Johnny?
Yeah, just he moved the ball. He was in position defensively. He rebounded the ball, and just a couple clever plays. Right, gets a defensive rebound ahead to Roby, gets the steal on the out of bounds play, gives it to Roby, who ends up dunking it. That's Johnny. He's got that about him.
I guess along those lines, what Robin was asking, is this one of those rally the troops sort of thing? Going in the conference tournaments, there have been historically weird things that have happened with teams that have overcome.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
are we about to become a movie one way or another? Yeah, bad or good? Here's what we told them. We know who our next three opponents are. So let's prepare accordingly and just go with it. And so obviously we've got difficulties with each of them, like Rutgers. If we talk about Rutgers, their physicality and their depth and all of those things that go with it are going to pose problems. And so, but at the same time, as we go through and we practice today and we went through film and, I think there's some, real adventure and fun to this too. I think that's the way the guys look at it too. They want to keep playing.
Even though Amir got hurt, do you still feel like you have a little bit of momentum going into the tournament with the Iowa win, or do you feel like it's kind of sucked away?
No, it doesn't feel sucked away, but I feel bad for Amir. I feel bad for the guys. I know he could contribute in a positive manner and really help on the glass, and just with his athleticism going to the rim. I was happy for him that he actually went back in when he was injured, because that moment of making that game-winning shot will last with him forever. So that's pretty cool too. It's just too bad it came at such a steep price.
Do you talk at all about how this upcoming week, it could affect what might lie for next week and possible beyond the Big Ten?
Yeah, so I talked about all that before Michigan State, and then we didn't perform well. So I didn't say anything. I talked to the coach, and I was like, well, should we put it in front of them of what's at stake or where we're at? And we just said, let's let them worry about it. And so we didn't actually.
Does it feel odd to be in this position when, in January 1st, it felt like you guys maybe get a bye or a double bye, and now you have quite the road to kind of get to even the semis?
Yeah, I guess I never considered that when we were, 13-4 or whatever. Like, oh, we'll have you just don't do that. So you just live in, we live in a bubble, and it just follows us throughout the year. Mm-hmm. And so, no, it feels like what I've just said earlier. I mean, we're gonna go out there and I know what I want to say. I'm not gonna say it in public.
With Rutgers, does it feel a little bit like, that was kind of one of the first times that the team started kind of go down the wrong way? Does it kind of feel like this could be
Rutgers did that to a lot of people at Rutgers, and so I don't think that was like a linchpin, so to speak, right? Is that the right word to say? But it was but it's a game. What I look at is they beat us. It's our turn to make the adjustments and beat them. Same thing with Maryland, mm-hmm. And then it's Wisconsin. So that's the way we look at it.
Does it help your guys' confidence when you've got 3 opponents ahead of you that you've had fairly competitive games against throughout the regular season?
I think the guys are excited to play. I think they're ready to compete. I'm certainly things have to go right. They have to fall in a certain order for us. I think we're aware of that.
James and Glenn have played pretty well in the last couple games. Do you sense from them that they understand that
they got to get us 50? Yeah, I tell them that every practice.
Or even just that their college careers are coming to an end. They kind of want to go on there right now.
Yeah, I mean, the care factor is way up for them, which is good, mm-hmm. And I think that says a lot about just them as young people, and I know they're going to flourish even after college, but they want this to go really well.
Coach, can I ask you about there's some indictments that were handed out, just on the general scheme? I mean,
yeah, did I get one? I heard a whole bunch of guys.
You're good for now.
Yeah. So we were walking into practice when that came down. So I heard like 2 movie stars or whatever. And
today?
Yeah. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. I just haven't read anything about it.
Aunt Becky.
So, Aunt Becky.
Yeah,
from Full House.
Full House.
Oh, she was. Wow.
It's about getting their kids in college that they couldn't have gotten into otherwise. So.
Oh wow. I wish my parents would have perked up.
Anything else for Coach?
Yeah.